Boy, do we have a lot to cover. Starting with Super Bowl Sunday. Oh man, we have lots to do. First off, let's jump to Donald Trump's State of the Union. Oh man, was it a show? He had surprise guests. He gave people prizes, scholarships, all while in the other half of the room, it looked like somebody told them their pet died. Then you have Nancy Pelosi, who decided to rip up the speech right behind the president. Wow. It was pretty crazy. A lot of people were really mad. Some people pointed out that there was already small tears in the paper, so it was planned out, yet she says it wasn't. People are saying it wasn't. It looked like it was, because she really was looking for that camera. You could see it in her eyes. Some people are saying that they are done with the party and they're jumping to another party. I don't know whether it's independent or Republican. I don't know. We'll see. But they are calling for Nancy Pelosi to resign, and some people are calling for her censure. Ooh, she was on the other side. And then we have this, Donald Trump acquitted. Ha. I just thought we use CNN here because I love seeing this on their stuff. And what are those mom jeans? This story is hilarious. Donald Trump Jr., you are a hero. We'll go into this and a little more. Wow, what a week it's been in politics. Whew. Starting with the State of the Union. Well, as you guys know, earlier this week, the trial still took place a little bit, but there was a break because President Trump had the State of the Union, and man, was it great. If you missed it, you have to go check it out. It's about an hour and a half long, but it's an hour and a half long disaster that you have to see. It's hilarious. You got half of the room cheering. Donald Trump is giving prizes. He's got surprise guests. I mean, he was really just, he's a showman, right? So he was just doing that, and he did a great job. I was pretty entertained. I thought it was great. He gave away prizes. He gave something to Rush Limbaugh. Even in the beginning, when he first walked in, he handed a speech to both Vice President and Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House. But of course, Nancy Pelosi wasn't too happy. And, well, we'll talk about what happens next. You know, every time I see pictures of Ivanka Trump, I always think of, I don't know if you guys ever seen it, a little show called Dragon Ball Z. Yep, she kind of reminds me of that character in Dragon Ball Z. I think it was called Android, just Android. It was a good-looking female, blonde, straight hair, and she kind of resembles her. Ivanka is pretty hot, I gotta say. This page on USA Today actually doesn't really go too much into everything, so if you guys kind of want to read what each picture says, I'll post it so you guys can actually click on it, but I'm just going to go through it really quick just so you guys can get an idea of what was happening. He did bring out quite a few people, and like I said, half of the room actually looked like they were having a great time and cheering. The other half was not having a great time. It was pretty bad and pretty sad. As always, you got the ladies on the Democratic Party wearing all white. I did see, as I was scrolling through social media, that somebody had commented something like, hey, look, actually forgot their hoods, but kept the robes. Wow, that was pretty crazy. It was kind of mean, but pretty funny. You guys all know where that whole white robe party started, or which party it started in. So it was pretty funny to hear. Then you see Neil Gorsuch and Brett Kavanaugh. Yep, President Trump took a moment during his speech to actually say welcome to them, and said he's got quite a few more in the pipeline. The look on Nancy Pelosi's face when he said that was just great. It's pretty nice to see. He knows how to poke the bear, but he knows how to get away with it. It's pretty great. Rush Limbaugh was there as well, sitting next to Melania Trump, as well as a few other guests that we'll talk about a little later. It was pretty great. As Donald Trump walked in, he handed over the speech, and Nancy Pelosi reached out to shake his hand, but Donald Trump, I don't know. To me, it looked like he didn't see her, and there you have it, where she was retracting her hand. Pretty hilarious, but I think that might have kind of kicked off the whole vibe. Actually, no, I take that back. She did skip some portions of the traditional speech when she's presenting or when she introduces the president. So she kind of started it. As a matter of fact, I think she did start it way back when she started impeaching the president and accusing him of all kinds of crazy stuff. So, I mean, this fight goes back 3 years, right? We all know that story. But As you look into the crowd, you notice a whole lot of people. This happened quite often. You have a lot of situations where the Republicans stood up and cheered. I gotta be honest. Even if I wasn't really a supporter, you gotta admit, a lot of the stuff that he was saying was pretty great. Great for the country, great for everybody. So the fact that Nancy Pelosi and the Democrats just sat there angry, it was just pretty hilarious. But skipping forward a little bit, I'll post a link so you guys can actually watch this whole thing. It's about an hour and a half long, like I said, but well worth it. At the very end, Nancy Pelosi decided she was going to actually make a show of it and tear up Donald Trump's speech. There's a little bit of I did notice a post a few hours ago that said that the papers looked like they were pre-torn. She claims that it wasn't planned, but it sure looked planned to me. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Let me know what you guys think. However, after she tore up the speech, people were pretty upset. A lot of the folks decided that they were going to start leaving the party. You had people call for her to step down. You had people call for her to be censured. It's been a pretty crazy ride. It's been a pretty crazy week. Here we got a little story of Jonathan Turley. Jonathan Turley says, partisan troll, ouch. Nancy Pelosi needs to apologize or step down as House Speaker. You know, I gotta say, I don't disagree with him. Not at all. She doesn't seem to really know what she's doing. She doesn't seem to be doing a great job at it. It's pretty bad. She's also dividing the country pretty bad. It's extremely partisan right now, and we're just in a bad place. Let's read a little bit. Constitutional scholar Jonathan Turley blasted partisan troll House Speaker Nancy Pelosi Wednesday for tearing up the president's State of the Union speech, calling for her to apologize or step down. Yes. I agree, sir. I agree. Her conduct tore up more than speech, but decades of tradition left by semblance. Never heard of that word. Semblance of civility in tatters on the House floor. Turley wrote on his website. I gotta say, wait a minute. Huh. What do you guys think about this? Huh. I don't know. Did we find something? Makeup can cover up a lot of stuff. Anyways, all right, let's go back to the story. The country was deeply divided, but both parties maintained a tradition of civility and decorum. I was struck. We're not going to get too much into this, but basically everybody's pretty upset that Nancy Pelosi tore those things up. It was just uncalled for. You can see that she, when she actually did it, she wanted to make sure that the cameras were actually looking at her. And she tore up, she set it down in several little stacks, tore different stacks, then purposely tossed the stack, and then picked up the whole stack and tossed it again. It was pretty obvious she was looking for attention. It was planned. They claimed that it wasn't planned, but you can really tell it was. It's just more division, more anger. That's what they're. I don't know. Is that part of their game plan? Is that what they want, to divide the nation? Because their party is extremely divided, and it doesn't seem to be helping them. Why are they doubling down on this? I don't know. But I think we might have found something here. Hey, Nancy. All right, so Iowa caucus was next. What a disaster that was. Boy, the Democrats really screwed this one up. Really, really screwed this one up. They're still counting some of the votes because they decided to use an app that made a complete mess of the whole thing. They just can't get it right. They just keep losing and losing, and Donald Trump keeps winning and winning. I think I see why Nancy was so upset. The Iowa Democratic Party released partial results on Monday's state caucus and made public more votes. And now here's where we kind of start seeing some people saying that they're cheating. And I'm not surprised. they used an app. The app was actually designed by a company called Shadow Company. Yep, Shadow Company. And no surprise, look where Shadow Company started. Shadow, founded by former Hillary Clinton staffer. Of course it is. It's kind of strange, isn't it? It's all connected. Even funnier, the state offered to actually test this app to see if there was any vulnerabilities, and they refused. Now, why would they refuse to check, even after they say it's so important for us to make sure that we're not infiltrated by the Russian government? Interesting. Now, they're afraid of the Russian government, but they don't want their app to be checked to make sure it's not vulnerable? Sounds to me like they might have actually put it back. I'm not saying they did, but it kind of sounds like they might have put a back door, maybe some way of cheating, because anybody would say, yes, sir, please check this app. Make sure it's not vulnerable, because voting is very important. Even worse, some of these votes are so close, supposedly, between Pete Buttigieg and Bernie Sanders. And some of these folks are actually deciding who wins by flipping a coin. There's video out there of people flipping a coin. That's horrible. This whole thing is a disaster and just makes them look so bad. So far, 86% of the votes has been released. This is another part where people are saying they're actually choosing to release part of it, making it look like Pete Buttigieg is actually ahead when Bernie Sanders actually won, just so people actually vote for Pete Buttigieg, because everybody wants to win. Results could change as more data of course, here we go. Results could change as more data is put out. I don't know. It just all sounds wrong. It all sounds just suspicious. Let's say that. It all sounds very suspicious. And of course, once again, Shadow, founded by former Hillary Clinton staffer. Yes, sir. It's a big debacle. It's a mess. So far, here's what we have. Pete Buttigieg is ahead by 26.7. They're still counting. I believe it's like 87% counted right now is what they say, but I don't know. Pete Buttigieg supposedly has got 11 delegates. Bernie Sanders, 11 delegates. Elizabeth Warren, ouch, with 5 delegates. 0 delegates. Ouch. 15.9% of the vote. Pretty bad, man. Pretty bad. However, you have Bernie and Pete at the very top. Now, if we click on Republican, oh, hey, look at that. Donald Trump. 97.1%. Pretty darn awesome. Who's Joe Walsh? I'm kidding. I know who he is. He's the guy who's not going to win. Our next disaster for the Democrats, Trump acquitted. Well, we all seen this coming, right? But look at the defeat on that guy's eyes. Look at that defeat. I mean, I don't know if you guys were watching this today, but it was pretty hilarious. Trump acquitted at the end of months-long impeachment process. Months? More like years. These guys have been trying to get him for years. Whether it's impeachment, I mean, when was the first time they started screaming impeachment? That sure wasn't months ago. That was years ago. They've been trying to get to that point for such a long time, and now it all failed. The Senate voted to acquit Donald Trump on 2 articles of impeachment Wednesday, marking the inevitable and historic end to a bitterly fight. Well, I don't know if you can call it much of a fight. It was just kind of a disaster. We do have one person, Mr. Mitt Romney, who decided that he was bitter. He was angry. He wanted Donald Trump out as well. He decided to set up a press conference and talk about how he is going to vote against the president on one account, but not the other. Well, regardless, they lost, and Donald Trump was acquitted. But because of what Mitt Romney did, few people were angry. And that brings us to our final little story here that'll kind of wrap it up for half of the week. Mom jeans. Oh yes, the New York Post. Donald Trump Jr. was at it again. And this story is hilarious. Turns out Donald Trump Jr. decided to post this picture, or I'm sorry, this meme of this dude in his mom jeans doing I don't know what, or how, I mean, look at the stereo. I sure hope this was a long time ago. And oh, there it is. Mom jeans, because you're up. I don't know if I can post that or have that on the video, so I might edit it. I might bleep it. But let's just say it's another way to call a cat a kitten. This is hilarious. Donald Trump Jr., you, sir, are a hero. How bad do you guys think it's going to be for Mitt Romney? Do you guys actually think he's going to run? I don't know. He said he might. I doubt it. I think this is kind of towards the end of his political career. I think he's just trying to get attention to either sell a book or do something. Maybe he's doing the Hillary Clinton thing where he's getting a show. I don't know. But it just seems like it's kind of like BS. It doesn't seem legitimate. I think he's just planning his exit and trying to cash out. I think that's what's happening here. But yep, Donald Trump Jr. You can check out his Instagram, and he has this up, and everybody is loving it. It's pretty hilarious. Well, folks, hopefully that caught us up for the week. It's been kind of a crazy ride. It's a lot to cover. I'll try to do another video, maybe a little more in detail of some of the stuff that's happened this week. But for now, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you soon.